Cameras never lie. The second Ferran Torres scored in the 106th minute to win the World Cup for Spain. 82,000 fans inside MetLife Stadium absolutely erupted. Players sprinted, coaches screamed, and the entire Spanish bench spilled out onto the pitch. And right then, the cameras locked onto Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA and the absolute most powerful executive in world soccer. He is supposed to be the completely unbiased caretaker of the game. A man whose entire job description demands that he celebrate the tournament champion with equal joy, no matter which country lifts the trophy. His face revealed everything his mouth would never actually say. Utterly shocked, frozen, not celebrating, not smiling, and not even clapping. He just sat there looking like a man who had watched his worst nightmare unfold. Something he desperately wished had not happened, a result that was never supposed to be the final script. That video clip went viral seconds after the whistle blew, racking up millions of views and endless shares online. The crushing look on the FIFA president's face as Spain celebrated is now easily one of the most shared video clips of this entire summer. And then he immediately went on Instagram. And his social media post is perhaps the most damning statement any head of FIFA has ever put out right after a World Cup final match. Because those words revealed to the entire soccer world exactly where his true loyalty rested, not with the actual champions, but with the defeated side. This is an absolutely massive development in the sport, and we are going to dive straight into the deep end of where this dramatic story demands we go next. That stunned Infantino face, those post-match statements, a massive double standard that has become impossible to ignore. This has even prompted major sports networks like ESPN to openly debate a serious question. Should Gianni Infantino resign? Let us dive in. First, we examine the shocking video clip that exposed everything. Think about exactly what the cameras caught the moment Ferran Torres scored in the 106th minute. Details really matter here, especially since the video is viral. Millions of fans watched it once and then hit replay immediately, because what they were seeing simply did not make any sense. Infantino sat high up in the VIP section of MetLife Stadium, yet when Torres scored, almost every single Spain supporter in the building instantly leapt to their feet. The coaching staff on the Spanish bench went wild, and even the substituted players were sprinting frantically onto the grass. An entire nation's explosive joy was erupting all around his seat. Meanwhile, Infantino sat there looking like he belonged in a completely different stadium, wearing the face of a devastated fan watching his own team lose. Not neutral, not calm. This was definitely not the professional posture of a global president watching his flagship tournament crown a truly deserving champion. Shocked and deflated, the exact look of a man wanting a different outcome. One popular upload titled FIFA President Gianni Infantino shocked reaction to Spain's goal versus Argentina went viral instantly, with dozens of different accounts quickly sharing the exact same footage. And every single post showed the exact same thing. The most powerful executive in soccer looking utterly devastated as Spain won the World Cup. He was not supposed to look like that. Regardless of his personal feelings or where his loyalty lay, his actual job in that exact moment was to behave like the professional president of FIFA. He should have looked neutral, professional, and warmly congratulatory. He simply could not manage it because his face betrayed the cold truth that his tournament actions had hinted at all along. He wanted Argentina to win the game, and he wanted Messi to lift that trophy. He chased the dream script that would have represented the single biggest commercial and emotional highlight in the history of his entire career as FIFA president. And Spain completely ruined it. But wait, because what he went on to do next is actually far more damning. Next up, the Instagram posts a massive double standard written out in public for the entire world to analyze. Well, after the final whistle blew, and long after that devastating reaction had been shared millions of times, Infantino finally hopped on Instagram. He put out two completely separate messages, one for Spain and another for Argentina. Read both of these messages carefully, because the stark contrast between them tells you absolutely everything. For the Spanish team, he wrote, 16 years after lifting the golden trophy in South Africa, Spain are FIFA World Cup champions once again. Soccer has a brand new golden chapter to celebrate, and this massive achievement will be remembered for generations. Celebrate with your families, your loyal supporters, and your entire nation. You have fully earned your place in soccer history. Now that is a perfectly fine message, appropriate, professional, and exactly what you expect a FIFA president to post for the winning team. But now, read what he wrote for Argentina. For the squad that actually lost, he wrote, "What an extraordinary tournament the Argentine team delivered at this World Cup, showcasing an unforgettable comeback and a fierce fighting spirit that inspired millions, giving soccer fans worldwide unforgettable moments that will never fade from memory. Returning to the World Cup final after lifting the trophy in 2022 proves your absolute and lasting excellence. Thank you for helping make this entire World Cup tournament so incredibly special, and for competing with such deep passion until the very end. Just count the words, feel the emotional warmth, study those phrases." For Spain, the champions, he wrote just one paragraph referencing South Africa 2010. "Congratulations, go celebrate." But for Argentina, the losing team, he penned two paragraphs praising their unforgettable comeback and fighting spirit, inspiring millions with lasting excellence, timeless moments, and a special passion. Yes, the president of FIFA actually wrote far more words with much deeper emotional warmth for the team that had just lost than he did for the actual champions right after a World Cup final, posting it directly to his official public Instagram account. And he did this while footage of his completely shocked face when Spain scored was already spreading like wildfire across every single social media platform on Earth. Now I want to stop and ask you a serious question. If you were running FIFA and your entire job absolutely required you to remain completely neutral, how on earth do you write a warmer, much longer tribute to the losing team than the actual champions right after a World Cup final? Tell me what you think in the comments section right now. Part 3. The alarming pattern that made this inevitable. Every single thing that built to Sunday night. Here is the crucial context that makes Infantino's reaction and his Instagram post so explosive, because they absolutely do not exist in some kind of vacuum. Instead, they are simply the latest and most glaring moments in a clear pattern that has defined this entire tournament from the very start. Earlier in the tournament, Infantino was caught red-handed on camera telling Argentine reporters that he had suffered right alongside Argentina during their tense matchup against Cape Verde. Imagine the president of FIFA openly expressing deep emotional solidarity with one specific team during a live World Cup game to their own national media. Even FIFA's referee chief, Pierluigi Collina, was forced to put out a formal public statement on FIFA's official website, declaring that not even the FIFA president can influence our match referees. He actually felt compelled to publicly state that about his own boss because Infantino's comments were so incredibly inappropriate that they demanded immediate, emergency damage control. Then, ahead of the high-stakes England versus Argentina semifinal, FIFA decided to appoint referee Ismail Elfath, a man whose matches involving Lionel Messi had never ended in a single defeat while he was officiating. 5 from 5 heading into that match, 6 from 6 after England lost 2-1. Remember, Egypt filed a formal complaint after their round of 16 loss to Argentina, and Switzerland's squad openly called the crucial VAR red card that ruined their quarterfinal match extraordinary. Even England's Declan Rice covered his mouth to whisper something directly to Messi right on the pitch. A moment that left the entire football world dying to know what was said. And then came the final toss. Spain wins. And the FIFA president's reaction instantly goes viral, because it absolutely does not look like the face of a neutral executive watching his tournament crown a worthy, deserving champion. Instead, it looks exactly like the face of a man who desperately wanted a completely different ending to his story. He penned much warmer words for the losers than the actual champions, celebrating Argentina's fighting spirit and timeless moments, while Spain was relegated to a single paragraph mentioning South Africa 2010. On top of that, his heartfelt message to Argentina completely ignored the glaring fact that Enzo Fernandez had received a red card during the game, that Leandro Paredes was sent off after the final whistle blew for assaulting Spanish players, and that the entire Argentine squad literally turned their backs on the official trophy ceremony, and FIFA launched a formal investigation into the post-game violence. He ignored all of those ugly details, choosing instead to write about fighting spirit and unforgettable moments for a team that literally assaulted the tournament champions right after the final whistle blew inside his very own stadium at his own final. Hit that subscribe button and share this video immediately. Because part 4 dives straight into the big question that the entire football world is asking right now. Part 4, should Infantino actually resign? That is the bold question ESPN asked, and it is the one question nobody at FIFA will answer. ESPN FC ran an entire segment debating whether Gianni Infantino should resign. This was not some random YouTube channel. This is ESPN, the largest sports media company on earth, debating if the FIFA president should step down. Let me lay out the exact case that the ESPN panel was presenting, because this is definitely not some wild conspiracy theory. It is a documented series of hard facts. Fact 1. Infantino publicly expressed emotional support for Argentina during a World Cup match on camera directly to their national media. His own referee chief was forced to respond with an embarrassing damage control statement right on FIFA's official website. Fact 2. Infantino's face when Spain scored was caught on camera and went viral as proof of his emotional investment in an Argentina victory. A reaction no neutral guardian of the sport should ever have in that moment. Fact 3. Infantino's official Instagram posts gave far more emotional warmth and many more words to the team that lost than the team that won right after a World Cup final where the losing players had just assaulted the winners and been sent off after the final whistle blew, blatantly turned their backs on the official trophy ceremony, and ultimately triggered an emergency formal FIFA investigation. Fact 4. Infantino personally invited Messi's Inter Miami to the Club World Cup despite them not qualifying. He used his presidential power to place a team in a major tournament specifically because Messi plays for them. Fact 5. The highly questionable pattern of VAR decisions and referee appointments across Argentina's matches at this tournament generated so much controversy that Egypt, Switzerland, and England all faced heavy accusations from their very own furious fans that the officiating had not been neutral. Put all 5 of those facts together, and the question ESPN asked is actually highly reasonable, asking whether the president of FIFA can credibly claim to run a completely neutral sporting competition when his behavior throughout the tournament suggests a deep personal emotional investment. The final outcome is a legitimate governance question, not some wild conspiracy theory. A real governance question. Infantino has ignored the resignation calls. He has not addressed his shocked face footage. He has not explained that glaring disparity in his Instagram posts, nor has he commented on the viral footage and the massive commentary it generated. Complete silence from him. The football world is watching. Part 5, what happens now? The coming investigation, the potential consequences, and the future of FIFA credibility. FIFA has officially launched a formal investigation into the ugly post-match violence. Paredes, Fernandez, and the trophy ceremony incident. That footage from right after the final whistle is currently under active review, with sanctions expected. But here is the one investigation that nobody inside FIFA wants to commission. An investigation into the shocking conduct of the FIFA president throughout this tournament. The investigation into his Cape Verde comment, and into the Elfath referee appointment. Into the massive disparity between how Argentina and their opponents were treated by officials across several knockout matches. That investigation would require FIFA to scrutinize its very own president, and no organization in sports history has ever willingly investigated the person sitting at the absolute top of its own power structure. Rodrigo de Paul, a key Argentina midfielder, went straight to social media after the final whistle and took aim at what he labeled as conspiracists. He insisted that Argentina reached the final purely on merit, claiming that anyone suggesting otherwise is completely disrespecting the team. He fiercely defended his teammates and his country. But here is what DePaul did not address: the FIFA president's devastated face when Spain scored, and those selective Instagram posts. That strange Cape Verde comment, and the controversial Elfath appointment. The overall pattern across this tournament has been heavily documented, confirmed, and published by mainstream sports outlets around the globe. DePaul can defend Argentina's strong performances all he wants. Nobody serious is arguing that Messi did not score those 8 goals, or that the players did not give absolutely everything out there. What they are arguing is that the environment created around Argentina by the behavior of FIFA's leadership made any claim of neutrality completely impossible. And Infantino's devastated face when Ferran Torres scored is easily the most visible evidence. That is the complete breakdown, that shocked face, the Instagram double standard, and the suspicious pattern that built up to this very moment. The intense ESPN resignation debate, and the easy investigation that FIFA will run while avoiding the one that actually matters. Three big questions. Drop your answers in the comments section right now. First, should Gianni Infantino resign as the president of FIFA after his behavior throughout this World Cup? Second, do you think the final outcome would have been totally different if the pressure on FIFA had not been so incredibly intense after that England-Argentina semi-final controversy? Third, will FIFA ever actually commission an independent review of the referee officiating at this 2026 World Cup? Or will this entire story just disappear in 6 months? Drop your thoughts below. I read every single one. And this is easily the most critical conversation the football world has had about the people who run it in 20 years. Keep this crucial discussion going and hit that like button as hard as you can. Share this video with every single football fan you know, because this massive story is far bigger than any match result. Subscribe if you are not already here, as we bring you new videos every week. I will see you all in the very next one.